Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how some of the stars are aligning in a way that may be suggesting that the bottom is very, very close in for Bitcoin. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more videos like this in the future. Let's dive right into it, because here's the thing about sell side volume bars. This volume bar, which was back in March 2020, is very similar to this volume bar in May 2021. In fact, if we were to just do something like this, you'll notice that the volume bars are equally long. They're just very, very similar. And the thing about these two volume bars, these sell side volume bars, is that we've never seen such extensive, high amount of seller exhaustion and sell side momentum. So these two periods are your historic sell side momentum volume bars. Never in the price history of Bitcoin have we seen such sell side momentum aside from these two periods. So these two periods are very similar, because back in March 2020 we saw a 63% retracement, a crash, and in May 2021 we saw a crash of 53% with a similar depth in retracement and also a similar amount of sell side momentum in the sell side volume bars, which is very interesting because we're not only seeing seller exhaustion, and of course seller exhaustion tends to end with a capitulation wick, and look at that, you're seeing a long downside wick for Bitcoin here as well. So we're seeing a bit of confluence, and we now need to watch out for a higher low, just like we saw in March 2020. And in fact, we might be getting that, but I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a second. We're seeing some interesting signs, because not only are we seeing seller exhaustion, and seller exhaustion tends to occur when the selling cannot continue. It's like if you were to run on a treadmill, you're running and you're running and you're running, but you can't run any longer because you just exhaust yourself. So you have to take a break. You have to sit down, you have to refuel, you have to rehydrate, and you can go again potentially. But the whole idea is that once you've exhausted yourself, like the sellers have in this crash, and potentially in this crash as well, you need to have some respite, which comes in the form of a relief rally or an entire trend reversal. So for instance, here we saw a sell side volume bar that was quite high, and then we saw a relief rally before further downside. But over here, you're seeing a strong sell side volume bar where we're actually seeing not a relief rally, we're seeing an entire trend reversal. So it does depend on the market conditions. Of course, we were in a bear market over here. This was the beginning of a bull market. And over here, I still think we can think of this as a bull market, even though many people think it's a bear market and it's all over. There are really great signs showcasing that there is seller exhaustion, that we are entering into the RSI where Bitcoin is now oversold. So too many people have been selling. People are too eager to be selling, which is what contributes to these sell side momentum volume bars, these outlier seller exhaustion segments and price action, where you're seeing this in March 2020, and something very similar in terms of the volume bars, the seller exhaustion, and also the RSI, where we're seeing oversold conditions over here and over here as well. Lots of confluence in that. And that's something I talk about in the newsletter. I go into so much more detail in the Rekt Capital newsletter for today. But let's talk about the price action for Bitcoin, because this was a scenario I was watching for, the orange pathway to take effect, and we did get a rejection from 38,000, revisited 32,000, and since then we've actually been able to rebound. So this is a very decent close, and if you just compare this weekly candle close to this weekly candle close, we're actually getting, so these are the bottom of those weekly candles, they're actually around the 32 area, whereas the bottom of these weekly candles is higher. So this is a higher low relative to this low, and it's the same support region. That's quite interesting in of itself. But nonetheless, as we move on, it does follow the orange pathway, returning to 38k. And of course, 38k has been a resistance in the past, but has also been broken in the past as well. So we need to see price just claim 38k as a support for it to be able to rally to 44k. So just going back to what I mentioned last week, we're either in this range or we're either in this range. And at the moment, we are still in this range, but it's really positive that it's only the beginning of the week. It's Monday, and we have a full 7 days to try and break past this resistance, turn it into support, and then set itself up for further upside and a return to this range. But at the moment, we're in this range. But it's very positive so far. And part of the positivity is that we have the first daily higher low. A wicking daily higher low, coupled together with bullish divergences on the RSI, coupled together with sell side exhaustion. Lots of cool signs that are, conspiring. Lots of contributing signs towards a potential ranging period or bottoming out period and bottoming structure in general forming here. So what I've been watching for is for this key level of 37,000 on the daily to be reclaimed as a support. We broke past that region and now we are pulling back as per the blue pathway, and we need to claim this 37,000 area as a support to be able to really challenge what is essentially the most important region on the weekly, the 38k region. So those are the shorter time frame moves I'm going to be watching for. 37k needs to first turn into a support. So let's go back to this chart over here. 37k, we need to see a daily candle close above here and turn it into a support before moving towards 38k for another test, just to open ourselves up to further upside. 38k needs to turn into a support for more upside into 44k, and that would be fantastic because that would be a very strong sign towards Bitcoin bottoming out. So is the bottom in? It's a bit too early to say, but there are loads of contributing signs that are really positive. And if we can get a weekly candle close above 38k, that's essentially giving us that higher time frame, higher low relative to this low and to this low as well. So that's something to get excited about. Many days still left ahead. I'll be updating you guys as we progress throughout the week. For today, that's about it. I'm Rekt Capital. Thanks so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed it, just to give me an idea that you'd like to see more videos like this. And I'll just be putting out the content that you like to see. Thanks so much once again for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.